The Kinky Cafe no longer offers catering. We are a queer community of kinksters. If it's one thing that my grandmother taught me, it's that you bring people together over good food, that you show love with good food. When I first launched the Kinky Cafe, it was a pop-up restaurant, and I launched it pretty much smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. So obviously there were some challenges, and I quickly had to pivot. So I started to sell meals and offer catering packages, and that's how the Kinky Cafe became a catering business. I offered one package that allowed me and a submissive to come into the customer's home and set up the ambiance. We would then make a 5-course meal. I would then make a 5-course meal for a couple or a group or whatever the case may be. And it was accompanied with like toys on the table, the different fact cards that gave you information about kinks and fetishes, etc., etc. And you know, my clients really enjoyed it. My first clients, after that first pivot, I haven't seen them in a while, but they were fantastic. And thinking about the Kinky Cafe and where it's going to go now, really reminded me of this couple. They were so cute. She is a Caucasian femme. He is a cis Asian man. I first met them, or well, officially met them, when I came to deliver this catering package to them. I went into their home with my sub Vicky, and we set up the ambiance. There were flowers and lights and nice centerpieces. We made a whole 5-course meal. I made a whole 5-course meal. Vicky served and did whatever the couple asked for, and they ended up, you know, I put my tools and toys on the table for them to experiment with. So they had floggers, they had this custom paddle that I had gotten, and and while they were playing, she accidentally broke it over his backside. And I don't know, I thought that was just the funniest thing, and this couple just made my life. They not only ordered that for their first Kinky Cafe experience, intimate experience, but then they scheduled with me again, and they included 2 of their other friends. And one thing that stuck with me from this time was that this couple said that the Kinky Cafe made them feel special in a certain kind of way. Like, they were not that experienced. They were still learning, and they are parents, and they wanted this opportunity to learn and really and experiment, and they wanted a reason to feel fancy and sexy and spicy, and you know, and have something to feel sexy and spicy about. to have that experience, to dress up and feel a part of something special. And that stuck with me. The Kinky Cafe gave them a space to feel, or a way to feel special and safe and feel okay experimenting and exploring something that may seem taboo, but when presented in this way that is familiar and less threatening, I suppose, it's just so much easier to digest. That's why I am pivoting once again, and hopefully this is the very last pivot. Recent events have reminded me of what the Kinky Cafe was established for in the first place. I think that I have been holding on to my identity as a chef so much that I wanted to make that connection. I wanted to include a food experience because that means so much to me personally. But I've realized that what people need the most right now, especially the LGBTQ, especially queer kinksters, is connection. Even without the food, people come to the Kinky Cafe because it makes them feel like they have a place, someplace to where they fit in, and they're not being threatened, and they're okay to let their guard down and be themselves without risk of judgment, without risk of someone not understanding their experience. I am a Black, queer, trans individual. You know, I am a kinkster, and I've been a kinkster since I was 17 years old. This is a part of me. It's a part of my identity. It's a part of who I truly am. And there's nothing wrong with that. My journey in this lifestyle has been a spiritual experience, and it has coincided with my spiritual growth along the way. With the Kinky Cafe, I want to share that experience. I want to share the community and the connection that I feel, the connection to spirit that I feel through this lifestyle. And I want to show that it's not something scary, it's not something taboo, it's not something that you need to be ashamed of, because there's always someone in this community that vibes on your level. There's always going to be someone who does have your kink. Unless it is a kink that is actively doing harm to others or to yourself, permanent harm to others or to yourself, it's okay. However, if your kink does do permanent harm to yourself or to others, it's no longer a kink. And I want others to understand that. Our membership is now open to queer kinksters outside of New York State. I think that I realized that the Kinky Cafe does more for people than just the events. It does more for people than just the food that we used to offer. It does more for people, and it reaches more people than can be contained in a few small cities. Membership is only $5 on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Kinky Cafe Society. That is cafe with a K. For only $5, you get your membership. You help us to create more events. and workshops, more offerings. And hopefully one day we will have a brick and mortar dungeon. The Kinky Cafe is going to be showing up wherever it can go. I plan to collaborate with other queer kinksters in other areas, and we're going to bring it to wherever we can bring it. We deserve to have play parties and lifestyle parties and all these different events, workshops, spiritual events, things like that, retreats that are free from danger, or at least as free from danger as we can make it. We need more queer safe spaces. Also on our Patreon, I've started to offer a tier that is $10 a month. For $10 a month, you get access to Daddy's Table, is the tier on our Patreon where you can have sort of one-on-one access to me. I offer spiritual guidance. I offer the weekly check-ins. I'll be posting the weekly check-ins not only on TikTok and our IG, but also on our Patreon. There you can contact me. You can directly speak to me on the platform if you're in a different state and you need the guidance of a dom, or you just need someone to remind you to drink your water and eat on a regular basis. I'm your internet dom. The last tier that is offered on our Patreon is a $15 a month tier that is purely donation. It goes straight to our Kinky Cafe GoFundMe, which is meant to find us a brick and mortar dungeon space at some point. We are refocusing on community building. We are refocusing on community assistance. Any help that we can get is appreciated greatly. The Kinky Cafe is for you. It's your home. We're building this community for you. And I hope you enjoy the new Kinky Cafe.